All right, here we are, folks. The Brilliantly Dumb Show presented to you here by Bro Bible. I'm sitting right now with, you're going to deny it, it's a fact, an American hero right now, Robert O'Neill, and another American hero, his father, Tom O'Neill, on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Fellas, thanks for coming aboard.
Thank you so much for having us. We're going to have a good time today.
It's a real pleasure.
Let's rip it. Something I want to touch on before we even get to this was we got to give a little bit of a shout out to Bob Menery. Bob Menery, who you were on his show, asked me when we had him on if I could have 3 people on, who would it be?
Oh, that's very cool. That's cool that he said that.
Yeah, and I said Charles Barkley.
The round mound of rebound, man. Why not?
Yeah,
Of course.
I think Charles Barkley would give a great interview. And then 2, I backed it up with the man who shot Osama bin Laden. And here we are today. And Mr. O'Neill, pleasure to have you as well. When Bob tried to get you on and we were talking, this is a classic Abbott and Costello, but I just want to read this out with the text message. Bob Menery says to me, Rob, meet Rob. Rob, this is Bob. Rob, hop in on Rob's podcast. Rob.
That's seriously what it said. We were on the boat yesterday, and I got that text from Menery. Yeah.
I responded, great intro, Bob. Bob, this is Rob. Pleasure to have you on the show. Outstanding. Thanks, Bob. Looking forward to seeing you. Rob, I'm currently shark diving right now. We'll check in ASAP. The shark diving, I then dug into the Instagram. The shark diving's not a joke.
No, it's real, and we're proving a point that I've been fascinated with sharks, especially great white sharks, since I was little. And because of the movie Jaws, sharks have been given a bad rep. They're not bad people. They're good people. And I was proving a point that you can get in the water anytime, and you'll be fine, and they're not going to bother you. And so I was proving it recently in Bimini, in the Bahamas, Guadalupe, and then off the coast of San Diego and Dana Point, that you can jump in at 2 in the morning, 6 miles off, and even if you see a shark, they're not going to bother you. Now, it's one thing to say it, one thing to do it.
Right.
Knowing it's going to be fine. And it's still fine, but it's because of those damn movies. It's in your head. But the great whites, we discovered, my father and I, is that these sharks are polite predators. They'll come up, they'll say hi. They don't fuck with you.
The issue I have with is going in there to discover that, because one miss and see you later.
That's the whole thing. Is that if a shark bites you, it's usually an accident or a mistake, or they're just testing you out. The sharks don't have arms. And with the great white, it's devastating, but it's generally not. They're not trying to. Even when if it's like some triathletes have been bitten by great whites, they're just testing them. And once their teeth touch the bone, they let go because there's not blubber from a sea lion. But I mean, a test bite from a great white, even the juveniles, can be bad.
And Mr. O'Neill, how do you even go about getting your son into this? Is it just put away the glove and bat, let's go dive in with sharks, no little league for you?
You know, when we were starting to think about this, John Kennedy, in about 1963, formed the SEAL teams, UDTs, or whatever they called themselves back then. The Navy SEALs have been swimming in and out of the surf zone for 100 years, and there has not been a Navy SEAL hit yet.
Not a single incident.
Not one
And that's
incident.
a super highway for great whites in between Isla Guadalupe and Oregon. They swim up and down there all the time. Not one SEAL's been Navy SEAL.
And then my thing is, when you get in there with them, what are you doing? Do you just take pictures of them? How does that go?
Well, nothing. Usually with especially great whites, you don't even notice. And if you've been in the ocean, you've had a positive encounter with a great white shark,
Right.
You just don't realize it. Especially off the coast of LA, off the coast of San Diego. They've seen you. They don't want to mess with you. And they can come close.
Mr. No, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and invite myself. I'd like to come with, just watch from the
That
boat.
would be pretty good. Once they start producing my podcast, we can take one of those charter boats down to Guadalupe.
But we could be on to something here.
Well, we went down there. We went down there a couple months ago, and I saw 31 different great white sharks, and it's just amazing. Between 18-footers and 10-footers.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, and the females get the biggest.
It's absolutely.
And the females are the nicest, not like with humans.
Right.
The females are the most rational. Tough crowd.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. Now, I want to go ahead. I'm going to jump in a little bit here and, just some details that were in the book as well. I'm going to read. This is going to take like 5-10 minutes of the show just reading your resume. I'm going to list a couple things off, okay? Raised in Montana, deployed as a Navy SEAL more than a dozen times, involved in over 400 combat missions, was decorated more than 32 times, received 2 Silver Stars, 4 Bronze Stars with Valor, 3 Presidential Unit Citations, was part of the mission Lone Survivor to save Marcus Luttrell. In addition, the mission to save Captain Phillips from Somalia pirates, and also just happened to kill Osama bin Laden. Robert, just so we're aware, I didn't finish college.
I didn't either.
So we have just right to the Navy SEALs?
Yeah. I was playing basketball. My father and I, he played at the University of Montana.
Did you?
I played at Montana Tech. And basketball was kind of our whole thing. And out of nowhere, we decided Navy. Just up and done, and we said Marines, and then.
Did you have any affiliation to the Navy at that time?
No, other than my dad was a Navy veteran from World War II.
Okay.
But I mean, Rob and I have been doing crazy shit since he was
I
about
hear
8.
that. Yeah.
We would start his basketball season, our basketball season the minute his basketball season ended. And we had this ritual of crazy crap that we would do with free throws and John Stockton School of Basketball camps.
John Stockton was the best.
This.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
all-time leader in assists and steals. Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah. And Rob won the MVP over there. But the point of this is we've been doing this stuff forever. And for us to go from 2 hours a day, every day basketball to Rob deciding to join the Navy was.
But it was all in though, all the time. Like okay, because we would do a thing when our basketball season started. We couldn't leave the gym until one of us made 20 free throws in a row.
Love that.
And that was the thing. So it's 20 in a row every day, but then it's 20 for a stake at the Derby, then it's 25, then 30, then 35, 40. And we got to a point, what did you make? You had the family record for a week and a half, I think.
I had 91
And
consecutive
then I
free
made
throws.
105.
105 free throws in a row.
Now, but when Rob tells you he wants to join the Navy, what's going through your head?
It was almost like a shift of gears. Like, okay, fine, we'll just do this.
Yeah, it's just
Because we could do free
turning the
throws.
page to
Now
the chapter.
can we do pull-ups? And then when we learned about free throws, how do you get better at free throws?
You shoot more free
How do you
throws.
get better at pull-ups?
You do more pull-ups.
How do you get good at diving with sharks?
You
dive
get in the
with
water.
sharks.
Seriously, yeah.
You get in the water.
And that's what we
again.
learned. Keep it simple, stupid. And that was it. And it was just, I got to get better at pull-ups. I guess we do pull-ups. I got to learn how to swim. I guess we swim.
And boy, did you get good at it. What are the numbers when you were trying to become a Navy SEAL? What are the numbers that goes into that? How many
About
people
pull-ups? I couldn't do 5 at first, and I got up to 56 was my max.
What is it? But as far as the Navy SEALs, what are the numbers for it?
It's not even a number thing. It's a mind thing. And I talk to kids now. We actually just met with one a lifeguard that wanted to be a Navy SEAL at 16, and it's a mindset. It was more of a I want to be a Navy SEAL. What should I do to prepare? And I would say, what are you doing to prepare? And he said, well, I'm taking cold showers to get used to it. And I was like, well, knock that shit off right now. It's stupid. And he said, why? And I said, well, look, here's the deal. You don't get used to something sucking. If I told you in 30 days I'm going to kick you in the nuts as hard as I can,
right.
And in order to get ready for it, you had your best friend kick you in the nuts every single day,
days.
it's still going to suck when I do it.
Right.
So knock it off. You want to be a Navy SEAL? Take hot showers, motherfucker. Seriously.
And was there a lot of training and prep?
No, it's like I said, it's a mindset. No one's ever said, well, I was having a bad day, but my body pulled me through it. No, it's my mind pulled me through it.
And is he kind of giving you phone calls as far as what's going on during?
Well,
the
tell him the
training?
Hell Week thing, because we decided with Jim Emmert that was it Wednesday morning when the sun comes up of Hell Week. Hell Week is a part of SEAL training where SEAL training is bad enough when you get up before the sun comes up and you go to sleep when it goes down. But Hell Week starts on Sunday and you don't sleep until Friday. And we knew a guy. You worked with a guy, Bill Berger, that knew a guy. And Jim Emmert was his name. And what did he say? If you don't hear from Rob by Wednesday morning,
yeah. Jim Emmert was an officer in the teams, and he ended up coming to Montana to go hunting. He's still in the Navy. So Rob and I and Jim go hunting, and those two go one way, I go another way. And Rob's seeing all of a sudden, number one, that Jim Emmert kind of looks like us.
Right.
Yeah, normal dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, because I was hiking up that hill in the middle of the night, and I'm like, well, he's a Navy SEAL. I can't stop. I got to keep going or whatever. And we got up on the hill.
Well, it's like you and I walking up the hill at Dana Point to the hotel.
Oh, Jesus.
He
Yeah,
and I can't walk home from a convenience store
Without racing
up a goddamn
Yeah, it's
hill.
always a competition.
And I'm 70 years old, for Christ's sake.
and I'm in my mid-20s.
And so from both of your guys' angles, first off, when 9/11 occurred, where were you?
You got a good story because I was overseas. I was with SEAL Team 2. I was in Germany, but you were hunting
I was
bears in Alaska or Russia or some shit, right?
I was in Alaska, and I remember distinctly. I'm on a 3-species hunt in Alaska. I'd taken a doll sheep, I'd taken a grizzly bear, and I'm now on a Alaska Yukon moose hunt. And these things are as big as this room. And it's September 8th, 2001, that I take this moose, and that whole thing's another story. But we get out. We're 2 days getting out of this thing with no sleep just to get the damn moose.
But you're going through the east coast of Russia to get back to the United States, right?
Yeah.
And 9/11 happened. You didn't,
Well, yeah.
didn't it?
But at any point,
Or am I out of?
Wait a minute now. This is in 2001.
Oh, I thought it was 2011.
No,
2001. Sorry,
2001. And I'm in a place called Duffy's Roadhouse, somewhere between Fairbanks and Anchorage, whoever in the hell Duffy is. And anyway, we're all of a sudden we walk into this place and things are on fire. And they were saying that the Twin Towers have been hit. They said that someplace other in Florida had been hit, the Pentagon been hit, and there's an assault on the White House. And I'm looking at this without any sleep, and I'm thinking, no, this is me, not it.
Right.
And so finally I do get a hold of Rob, and we're talking. I said, what the hell is going on here? And he had one comment for me: welcome to my world.
Is that
No,
what
because
you
I've been talking
seriously
about Al Qaeda since the 90s.
He was ahead of this thing, years ahead
Now,
of
but
this
when you
thing.
say ahead, as far as he had a feeling that something like
No. I'd known about Al Qaeda. I'd known about Osama bin Laden for a long time.
before
And
any of this.
we'd go back to Maloney's bar in Butte, Montana, and I would talk to my friends and say, "There's a group out there called the headquarters called Al Qaeda in Arabic that is going to hit us. They're going to come back to the Twin Towers because they attacked it in '93."
And then what is your response?
But
to
everyone
that?
was saying to me, "No, you're racist. That can't be real." I'm like, "I'm not racist. This is not. This is an ideology. They didn't forget about us. They're coming back, and like they will again.
Right.
They didn't forget about us. And all I just said to you was, welcome to my world.
You know, the one thing that's interesting in this, you asked a question a little bit ago about how was I handling his transition to the Navy or his transition to SEAL Team 6 or whatever it was we were talking about. It's almost like, how are we handling current transitions? Our whole lives we've been always looking for the next, not necessarily adventure.
Well, the next ridge line.
Yeah.
Like when you were hunting, you get to a ridge line, there's the next ridge
the
line.
next ridge.
Yeah.
Right.
And so our life has kind of been that way. So for him to take the jump to the Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6, which is a whole nother ball of worms, I'll tell you, just getting from there to there is not for the faint of heart.
Now,
but it's always something.
Right. And does SEAL Team 6 come after 9/11 had already happened?
Yeah. I went to SEAL Team 6 in 2004. Okay. So 9/11 obviously was 2001. I was at SEAL Team 2. I went to SEAL Team 4, and then I went to SEAL Team 6 after that. And just a progression. It just takes a while to get to SEAL Team 6 because there's traditionally one class per year, and then they bumped it up to 2 classes a year to try to get what we call them as assaulters as opposed to operators. This many assaulters at SEAL Team 6, and there's 4 squadrons. I don't want to get too much into how many guys are there, but we just needed more at a Tier 1 level. And it was the 2 Tier 1 teams were Delta Force and SEAL Team 6.
Right.
And in the Navy, well, you can go to either one. Delta takes everyone. SEAL Team 6 takes SEALs. And so it took me a second to get there. And then it's a 9-month selection course, probably a 2-year process to get over there.
So, but did you know how much involvement you would have in it?
No.
When it happened? You had no idea?
No, it was someone else is going to do it, but I just want to be able to see it.
Right.
It's not going to be us. There's no way in hell it's going to be me.
It can't be, right?
No.
Exactly.
But I was part of all of the missions. I happened to be there, right place, right time, and luck of the draw.
And when is it that you find out that you are going to have such an instrumental part to it?
Well, like for the rescue of Captain Phillips, it was that day, because I saw the guys on the airfield in Jalalabad, Afghanistan when they launched. We told them it was a bad idea to go in, but they went, and then we went to get them. And when we went to get Captain Phillips, it was that day. It was my birthday. I was in Virginia Beach, April 2009, Good Friday.
Happy birthday,
Thank
right?
you. Yeah, and my daughter's Easter tea party at her preschool. 16 hours later, we're in the Indian Ocean. We flew from Virginia Beach to the Indian Ocean. 103 Navy SEALs in the water. We rescued Richard Phillips. And then 2 weeks before we went after bin Laden, they told us it was bin Laden we were going after, and they picked 28 guys.
And how much training was did they have?
Well, we didn't need
training?
any. We didn't need any training for us.
Right.
Because they picked the most senior guys, but we did training so that the powers that be could see us train to be happy with us.
Now, Tom,
And it was so cool though, because President Obama told us, he said, I wasn't convinced Bin Laden was there, but after watching you guys, I was convinced you can go in, find out, and come back
and get out.
He was convinced we were going to live. We weren't. We were going to die. But Obama was so cool that.
So you're pretty much you're on a plane and you're pretty much have the mindset that there's a shot. This is a
Oh, we're definitely going to die on some of those. Yeah.
And then can he obviously can't tell you anything that's going on. To what level did you know that Rob was either training for, or where did you think he was at the time?
I dare you to get this story out of him.
Oh, I can get, I can get through it. I just want to make sure I don't say the wrong shit.
You're good.
Because
You're good.
I think I knew more than I was supposed to know.
Right.
And it wasn't because he told me anything. It's just that intuitively, I mean,
You know your son.
ever since his career started, he's blamed me
Well,
for half the shit.
the thing is, he always was convinced I was the guy
doing it.
He'd see something in Life magazine. Oh, that's you. That's
Yeah.
it's fucking not me. God damn it. No, that's definitely you. And I would mess with him. Like, I'm here. You're fine. I'm here to do something special. But then the Bin Laden raid, of all the people I want to tell, because we just got back from Afghanistan,
Right?
And now we're going back. Because people won't notice that we're training, and I want to tell them.
Well, see,
you had to.
and this is the part of the story that gets me so choked up, is because everything else we've always done has been leading from it to something else.
Right,
We're
yeah.
always looking. This is
But we've been together since every single day, playing basketball since I'm 13.
Yeah.
And playing the McLeods. Me hammering the goddamn drinking fountain. He's old. How did he beat us? And you're like, Rob, he's 25.
And what's your reaction?
But then we get to this, and what was I, 33 when we went after Bin Laden?
Yeah, but see, the problem here, he'd go on deployments or go on missions when he's overseas. And I said, Rob, God damn it, I wish I could go with you.
But I would always say,
he'd
I do too.
I wish it could come with me too.
Yeah, I could tell you.
But
guys
on
are
this one,
close.
I called him right before we left for Bin Laden.
Before they launched, before he's climbing on the bird, he calls
Like,
me.
I have my gear on, my gun's out. I got my night vision on my head.
And we're talking back and forth. And I said, Rob, I wish I could go with you. And he said, Dad, I'm with some real good guys.
That's
So that's when he kind of knew.
Yeah.
That's when you knew something was up.
Well, I wasn't supposed to be in Afghanistan though. You didn't know I was in Afghanistan.
Right.
We weren't supposed to be there.
Right.
And now we're leaving, and I'm out. I'm with my best friends in the world. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'd love to tell you.
Is it
Yeah.
true that I've seen it and heard it that there were some of you on the way over there to the Bin Ladens that fell asleep. on
Motherfuckers
the
fell
plane?
asleep in the yes.
How the fuck? Do you
I was looking
fall
over. I remember.
asleep on the way?
I got my buddy Cheese, who's got the dog Cairo. We all have nicknames.
Cairo.
I was Nizro, NSRO, Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill. Just because my friends would see me at a bar, I'd say, "What up, my Nizro?" Yeah.
And I parenthetically, I gave him.
Yeah,
the
you
word-
fucked me over, by the way.
I put something in the newspaper.
We caught an oarfish in San Diego, 27-foot oarfish, when I'm in training, and he gave it to the local newspaper, the Montana Standard, and it said, blah, 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 Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill.
He'll catch his big
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
fish.
And so
NSRO.
the SEAL instructor's like, oh, you're a Navy SEAL now. I'm like, no, my fucking dad thinks I am. So they gave me extra attention. But what's the point we're getting at? So we're in the plane. I got Cheese here, Cairo's here, the dog, and then one of my boys is over here and he's asleep. So we're flying to Bin Laden's house, and I remember looking at my friend thinking, you got ice in you are asleep
Ice.
in the car on the ride to Bin Laden's house. Yeah, that's a cool. But my guys were so cool because they really same with swimming with sharks at night. Look, if you can't see it, it ain't there. Why are you worrying about it? If you're worrying about it's not going to affect it, fall asleep.
Right.
Yeah.
What was
Crazy.
What was your biggest worry? I know you guys really don't have fear, but what was your biggest worry flying over there? Like what was your main-
There was no worries. I mean, we're going to get shot down. Or as soon as we get, like when I went in the first room onto the right-hand side in Bin Laden's house, I remember shining a light up to look for explosives because they'll generally hang them down, and it's just going to implode the house. And I couldn't see any, and I'm like, why aren't there explosives? And then looking at, I remember seeing a little girl that was scared, and one of my buddies grabbed her, brought her to a woman, and I just watching my friends do. Like, I remember thinking like, this is shit they wouldn't do for us. We're the good guys. We're making sure she's not afraid.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, we might do this, and let's go to the stairs where Maya told us Khalid bin Laden would be, and we went up there, and one of my buddies aced him. One of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen.
You know what I love that you say so much, and I've heard you with interviews, was that you were doing it for the people that had to jump out of the
Oh, that's exactly, and I say that every day.
and it just like it's. I mean, my scene when I was in New Jersey, I was like 9 years old, but all of our parents, our dads, had commuted to the city.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget. We were I don't know what.
Well, I mean,
grade
you can see it from Jersey City. You can see the towers.
Totally.
You can see the Freedom
smoke.
Tower.
Yeah.
And what we talked about. I mean, I think the respect isn't given to the people at Windows on the World. It was 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. You see people trying to use tablecloths as a parachute. People holding hands, jumping together. I don't want to die alone. Do they know each other? Did they just meet? They're going to kill them. Like, what the fuck was going on inside? That's why we went, for sure. And I wanted. There was no way in hell I was going to live the rest of my life with that regret of not going. I'm going to go. I'm going. This is how it's going to end. I have to. I must go.
And what's the mood at the base that you're at when
It was just
happened?
serious, all serious.
Like just shock or like
Oh well, no, when 9/11 happened, or when we went for Bin Laden.
yeah, like when you guys went over for Bin Laden, everybody just
Oh no, it was
stone cold?
complete. Well, we were professionals, and we'd done it so many times. I mean, the only difference between that mission and a mission in Ramadi or Bakuba, Iraq, was instead of handshakes, we gave each other hugs, and literally just said, "Have a good fight." This is it. I mean, this is it.
And these are your best friends.
Yeah,
I mean, you
my
guys
best
are-
friends, 23 of the best people. in the
Still
world.
talk to them till this day?
I talk to most of them. Some of them are still going, and it's a freight train that kept moving. But it's like seriously, you take a piss, you smoke a cigarette, you give each other a hug, and here,
Have a good fight.
have a good fight.
Yeah, but the thing of it, when he's climbing the bird, just going back a couple paragraphs, I said to him, I wish I could go with you. And he says, I'm with some really good guys. And what he was telling me is, it's a one-way mission.
This is it. We're gonna die.
It's over.
And then if you
Well, the thing too is because you went to Walmart.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he did.
I was.
So he's
I'm sitting in
happy shopping, Dad. Yeah.
seriously. So he's in Walmart, can't move. I'm flying to Bin Laden's house in Abbottabad, Pakistan.
He's in aisle 6 of the
no, but
frozen
no,
section.
I'm in my Ford,
Whatever the hell, yeah.
Ford Ranger truck.
Yeah, yeah. You
with
don't,
my
and by the way,
fingers.
you don't need to say which vehicle because we're not sponsored yet. So it could have been any.
God
It could have been
damn
any truck.
the O'Neill limited edition.
Then how did you hear after the mission's complete? How did you get the news?
Well, the thing is, we had Bin Laden's body, and we're at Bagram Airfield, and the FBI is doing DNA tests on him. We have a TV set up. President Obama came out walking in the black suit, red tie, the red carpet, and he said, "Tonight I can report to the American people and to the world,
forget
the
this.
United States has conducted a mission that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al Qaeda."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there eating a breakfast sandwich. I hear the president say Osama bin Laden. I look at Osama bin Laden. I'm like, how the fuck did I get him from Butte, Montana? But then we're thinking, when are you
When
going to
you
say no
one
Americans
was
were
killed?
hurt? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
he never said that.
About a
he
minute,
does
about a
later.
minute and 20 seconds
I'm
into it, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, my neighbors can hear me screaming at the television set because
Yeah.
I haven't heard. I want to hear and I
You
don't
had
want to
be
hear a word.
You had to be a mess.
Well, I'm waiting for the military guys to come up, which I'm
Yeah,
praying to
the,
God
the,
they don't.
the friggin' guy with the priest and the fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
so
So
you had to be a mess.
Oh, it's horrible.
yeah, but I mean, even we're writing the notes to our buddies. Like, so the 23 guys that were there, we wrote letters to everyone, individual letters to my dad, my daughters, my mom, my sister, my brother, my sister, and but you can't give these letters to your buddies because they're gonna die with you. So you got to find someone that doesn't know what the fuck you're doing. A manila envelope and a hand. I said, hey, look, here's inside of this. Just trust me. These are letters with instructions. You're gonna know what to do. And he's like, well, what do I do? I'm like, just trust me. You're gonna know. Now, if you see me tomorrow, I want them back.
So they know.
He had no idea. As soon as he gave them back, I shredded those goddamn things. I wish I would have kept them, but I shredded them.
Yeah, I'm surprised you wouldn't.
I had blood on my uniform. I went into the shredder and put them in the thing. Just got rid of them. And letters. I mean, I didn't write a letter to the 7-year-old. I wrote a letter to the 27-year-old daughter. I'm really sorry I missed your wedding. I know you're beautiful. Thanks for taking care of your sisters. What we did was noble. You know, I wish I would have kept them, but at the moment, and it must have been the half bottle of Johnny Walker Blue that I had.
Very well deserved.
Oh,
though,
I think
to
so.
say the least.
Yeah.
And for you, Robert, at what point do you realize, like, when does it really hit that I just shot Osama bin Laden?
It hit me when after I shot him because Bin Laden was pushing his wife toward me, and I'm 3 feet away from him, and I'm looking him in the eyes. That's his nose. That's him. He's not surrendering. He's a threat.
Okay.
I got to kill him. I shot him over his wife Amal twice and then once again, and I pulled her toward me because you can sort of tell when there's a threat. and she wasn't a threat, so I pulled her. And as I'm moving her, like you can see it on the internet. You can see where I killed him by the foot of his bed, the blood from his head. I can hear him taking his last breath, smoke coming out of his head where I just shot him. And his 2-year-old son is standing there. And I remember looking at this kid as a father thinking, this poor kid's got nothing to do with this. So I picked him up. I pushed her on the bed. I put her son on top of her. And I turned around and other Navy SEALs are coming in. I'm the only guy in the room other, than Bin Laden. And I see Navy SEALs doing what I call Navy SEAL shit. They're clearing the room, and I'm standing there, and one of my guys comes up to me, a Navy SEAL, so obviously very good looking. And he comes up to me and he goes, he looks at me and he goes, "Are you good?" And I said, "No."
So you kind of paused for a second.
Here's what hit me. So I go, what do we do now? And he said, now we find the computers. Like we do this every night, hundreds of times we've done this.
Right.
And I said, yeah, you're right. I'm back. Holy shit. And here's how cool my guys are. He goes, yeah, you just killed Osama bin Laden. Your life just changed. Let's get to fucking work. I'm like, that's it. That's it. I guess we get to work.
And
Crazy.
Tom, for you, I mean, of course you've heard it so many times, but even for you to hear it now, does it still hit you till this day?
Yeah.
What's it like?
You can get him to cry, I guarantee
No.
it. You're on the verge.
Close to, there's been a couple times for me where I'm trying to hold it together over here. I mean, it's just got to be so wild to hear.
Well, how did we get here? Right?
Yeah. It's
How much? I mean, we did so much work, so much. Everything from the free throws to the layups, to the dribbling.
I was just going to say, it's too bad Osama didn't have a hoop. You could have shot
we
some
could have
free
done.
throws before. You got to make 25.
I'd have crushed him again. I try to save the world at least once every 10 years. I got him.
It's almost one of these things where I'm as old as I've ever been and I'm as young as I'll
That's
ever
brilliant.
be. And
Brilliant.
it starts today.
Yeah, my life starts right now.
Right now. This minute. What we're doing right now, it starts here.
Well, we were talking about the McLeods when I'm pounding the damn drinking fountain. And McLeod's in his 50s now. And I remember thinking how, I can't believe that old bastard beat me. He was 25 at the time. And Jim and Mike McLeod, Rob and Tom O'Neill, we called it the Hatfields and McCoys. We'd play them 2-on-2 every fucking
Every
day.
day.
I love those two, but I still hate those motherfuckers.
And one of the McLeods happens to hold the single game scoring
Yes.
record at the high school.
I was gonna take
Tell you, right now, the clouds are somewhere on a podcast saying those fucking.
No, I know, I guarantee you.
Those fucking O'Neill.
Well, you know what's funny? So I don't mean to name drop, but Mike McLeod's daughter, Erica McLeod, what was she? What event was she?
Heptathlon.
The heptathlon. So she's like a 5-time state champion at the University of Montana. And those fuckers from the Montana Standard, they said, Erica McLeod, she's butte tough, just like Evil Knievel. I'm like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Not even an honorable mention.
Yeah. Evil's in the top
I killed the
three.
#1 terrorist in the world. This guy he's a great jumper, can't land a fucking bike.
Well, now, but when do you hear? Like, obviously now at this point, Robert's okay. When do you find out he's the one who pulled the trigger?
Well, you knew it off the bat. I think.
I knew it.
What made you?
He always knew it.
I knew it. I knew it.
Wow.
Here's what I thought, and I think I thought it erroneously, but he was not supposed to go marching down the hallway and marching up the steps.
Right, you've mentioned that.
No, I was supposed to be on top.
He was supposed to be coming down.
Yeah, we were going to die on the rooftop.
He's gonna fast rope in, and he's gonna take him from on top.
Well, the plan was we're going to drop the snipers off, drop the dog off, and then they're going to fast rope. We're going to fast rope on the roof, and then we knew there was about a 9-foot jump where we're going to jump from the roof onto the balcony, and then we're going to shoot it out through a window.
So wouldn't that make you the first person?
Well, we're going to
see
die.
him,
We called ourselves a martyrs brigade. We're going to die there.
Well, and the thing of this thing too is,
But we know that if he blows himself up, we fucking got him. And we're going to die with him, but we fucking got him. That was the mentality of the guys.
Any thought to try and take him alive, or that's outside of that?
Technically, yes.
Right.
Yeah. We're
You were popping him. You were popping.
that motherfucker's going to die.
You're popping him.
And this is exclusive right here.
it just stays in this room.
Yeah.
this
Don't-
room right
hey,
here,
as long as it's not being recorded.
Yeah, Connolly Brandon. The shit stays here. All right. Jesus.
Part of the deal was, I didn't know where Rob was after he'd come back from his deployment. This is pre-Bin Laden.
Right.
Other than he's telling me, this is a kid that's been in the Navy SEALs for 14, 15 years at that point, and he's telling me that his forearms are falling off.
Yeah,
he's telling me that he's fast roping like a motherfucker, and he is.
No, it was so much. I almost called myself out of it because I was my arms were getting so broken from fast roping because we're training to fast rope for the Bin Laden raid.
Every day, 7 days a week.
But that's the part I didn't know. But I knew he was. He was.
Why are you fast roping when we should be? We were scuba diving because we're down in Miami. We're supposed to be scuba diving because we were training on Somali pirates. How can we dive in an open current to a mothership? And we're training that, and then the best story is they called us up there. A couple of the team leaders, so the guys for the Bin Laden raid, and they brought us in a room and said, "All right, here's the deal. We found a thing. This is real. We found a thing, and this is not a drill. We found a thing. This thing is in a house. This house is in a country. This country, there's a bowl in between the mountains. You're going to go in and get this thing, and you're going to bring it to us." And they meant Bin Laden. So we're all in this room. We're like, well, what's the thing? Can't tell you. Well, how are we getting there? Can't tell you. What country? Can't tell you.
Why can't they tell you just out of curiosity?
They didn't want to at first because they didn't want it leaking. They didn't tell anybody what we were doing. So we assumed it was going to be Gaddafi in Libya.
Interesting.
Because the Arab Spring just started, and we figured they would want us to go fly in off a flat top, get him on Ospreys, bring him back for a debrief or something. But they said we can't take any PJs from the Air Force, can't take any CCT from the Air Force. It's all Navy SEALs. So if you know how to do medical shit, bring it. If you know how to use a radio, bring it. By the way, you're carrying a machine gun.
You know something's up.
Something's up, but we thought it was Gaddafi. So we went home on Friday, and they said, all right, go home, be with your kids. Come back Sunday, and we're going to tell you exactly what's going on. And I remember asking the question, well, who's going to be there at the brief? And they said, well, the Secretary of Defense, the Vice President, Secretary of the Navy. And we're like, holy fuck. But part of the funny part of the story is they get down the list and they said State Department this and then CTC pad, blah, blah, blah. And I caught that. I didn't say anything, but CTC pad is the CIA counterterrorism Pakistan, Afghanistan desk. So I went home with that. I'm like, well, if we're going to Libya, why is Pac Afghan there? Wow. So then we come back in. They split us up on a Sunday, 4 guys per van, and we're driving to a place in North Carolina, secret base. And I'm in the back. My boss is next to me, and I said exactly that. I said, guys, this isn't Gaddafi. This is Bin Laden. They found Bin Laden. My boss looked at me, and he goes, that's exactly what I was thinking. So we're back here talking. My buddy Mac.
So your boss doesn't know, though.
It gets better. No, he didn't know.
At the time.
It gets better, though. My buddy who's driving looks me in the mirror, and he goes, man, O'Neill, if we kill Osama Bin Laden, I will suck your dick.
What a clip.
Yeah. So 3 weeks to the clip. 3 weeks to the day, we're standing over Bin Laden's body. I look at him in his house and I go, now's as good a time as any. And he goes, fuck you. I'm like, okay. Your bet, homie. Your bet. Still haven't collected on that one. Yeah. What the shit?
You know what? I can't let you go with that. I got to know. How do you know that your son's the one who shot Osama bin Laden without knowing? Is it a father thing? I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I thought I knew. I was pretty comfortable in that because why wouldn't?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
The hell not?
Why not?
This is the same thing that we went through
point.
when he started going from Team 4 or Team 8, whatever it was, and he wanted to go to Team 6 to Dev Group. The question we bounced it off each other. Why, if not you, then who?
Yeah.
Why the hell not you? You know, and it's one of these things.
But it was, I mean, it was never going to be me though, because I was at SEAL Team 6, honored to work with guys from Delta, and I'm like, I can't wait to meet the guy from Delta that gets Bin Laden. You know, it's got to be one of them. I'm just happy to be close enough.
And if you could just for the listeners, as far as SEAL Team 6, is that like the most pristine team? Are there, how many teams are there?
There's a few squadrons at Team 6. We split it up to between about 200 people. Peoples. So about 200 Team 6, 200 Delta, and we just kind of rotate out for the what we call them. They're Tier 1 units.
Right. So
I
as
can't get
time's
too
going
much
on,
into them, but
yeah. But as time's going on, you're kind of realizing, all right, maybe there's a shot.
Well, we had always assumed that we were going to skydive in. We were going to jump across the border, do what we call a high altitude, a high opening. So jump, pull at 25,000 feet, and then go 15 miles under canopy, and then we were training to be able to fight as soon as we got on the ground. That's right. What we. But then even the President Obama didn't know about these helicopters we had. When he was told by the CIA about Bin Laden and we think we found him, and they were asking how we can get him, and they said, "Well, Mr. President, there's one more option that we haven't told you about, and it was the helicopters." And even the pilots that flew us in had not flown these helicopters before. They had like 2 weeks to train on them.
What? And the helicopter ends up. Was it crashing?
Crashed, landed. The pilot decided to put it down in the front yard.
Which is what he was trained to do. No.
Yeah, well, he made the decision off the. I mean, he just made the call. Wow. And we were fortunate to have the 4 best pilots. Army helicopter pilots are the best pilots in the world. And he just decided that fast, I got to land it. And he put it down in the front yard. I mean, it wasn't a decision. And because he did that, he saved everyone's life. So he saved, 13 guys' lives?
Is it more adrenaline when that happens?
I don't know. Pilots are just cool. when you are in like really turbulent weather and you're flying like Delta Airlines and you hear a pilot come over just very monotone, very Chuck Yeager, he's doing that on purpose. He's doing because like when Chuck Yeager got in a nasty flat spin and tumbled for 60,000 feet, he's like, anyway, I've blah blah blah. That's why they do it because fuck it. I mean, if I'm up here screaming, and yelling, I want to fuck somebody,
like, what the fuck?
It's not going to help. Just calm the fuck down. Wow. And pilots are like that. They're just very well. Even when we flew back, we had 90 minutes to fly to live to get 50 years of life. If I can live 90 minutes, I get to see my kids again. And we're 85 minutes into it, and the pilot came over the radio. He goes, all right, gentlemen, for the first time in your lives, you're going to be happy to hear this. Welcome to Afghanistan. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm going to get so much pussy.
And your dick sucked by your.
Thank you, by my buddy. Yeah, I got a blowjob coming where I can look down at my friend, where he's going to say, "Don't grab my ears, buddy. I know what I'm doing."
Nothing like a blowjob in Afghanistan. I guess.
Oh, you haven't lived. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
And then
this is horrible.
I'm bringing it back to you. So then, do you remember the time that Robert told you I was the one?
Yes. Within. When did you call?
I don't know. Because I remember all my buddies going, son of a bitch, why's it got to be O'Neill that kills This motherfucker tells a good story. What the
yeah. Anybody but O'Neill.
Yeah, seriously. Couldn't have been one of those quiet guys? The silent professional?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of interesting because there's rumors everywhere floating.
No, they were out, yeah.
They were out before you hit the ground.
Yeah.
Back in Virginia.
Well, even some of my guys from the White House called some of my buddies in San Diego, and all they said was, it was your boy. Because everybody asked the question, who got him?
Who is it?
How did they know? Do you think somebody leaked?
The White House did, yeah.
Really?
Everybody knew what happened when it happened. It was, and again, whatever. But people knew, and the one question everyone asked was, who got him? And O'Neill got him. Nisro got him.
So was that tough? I mean, it's pretty much already out there. But even with that being said, was it tough for you?
To
say
it was
me?
It was tough, even with the team getting back, because I mean, we're standing there having cigars and some scotch in
Love it.
Bagram. And everyone's kind of like, I don't know what's about to happen. Like your life seriously just changed. I don't know what we're gonna do. And because we'd gotten a little bit high profile in 2009 when we got Cap Phillips and SEAL Team 6 name was sort of released. And I remember talking to my buddy who was the head sniper, the one that did it. And I remember looking at him saying, and this is before Bin Laden, I said, you just did the most significant thing in the history of the SEAL teams. And his response was, cool. Can we go home? I just want to go home. And then he was there when I killed Bin Laden, and he's like, then my guy's looking at me like, holy fuck, dude, this is.
You just one up them.
It's epic. I mean, even with like, they're like, if we could interview the guy that killed Hitler, no, I was like, well, Hitler killed himself, and he goes, exactly. Like this is a different level now. We don't know.
So you know your life.
Well, I didn't know what to do, and I still. I mean, after I shot him, I was like, is this the best thing I've ever done or the worst thing I've ever done? I don't know. Wow, crazy.
And not many people.
And I was supposed to be a 30-year Master Chief. I'm supposed to be in San Diego right now. I had the line. I have a scotch and a cigar. All right, gentlemen, today we are going to do a 10-mile run. And of course, by we, I mean you.
All right.
But everything changed.
How much of that night do you remember? Like, is there a lot that's...
I can close my eyes and see it. Anything I want.
From start to finish.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's almost now to the point where there's no way it happened. I just know the story. I just know what happened. But there's no way we were there.
Right.
But I can see it when I close my eyes.
Did you have any dialogue with President Obama at the time? Or was it the group?
When he came in to meet us, we were sitting there, and it was us, the air crew, the mechanics, the head shed, the cabinet. And I remember Obama coming in as charismatic as he is, and he's like, hey, everybody. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, shit.
Barack.
Yeah,
hey.
seriously. And he actually asked me, he knew, what do we always say, Dad? You never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Love it.
So he said, Who got him? And me and my buddy go, we all did.
That's amazing.
And he asked me that question. He knew goddamn well.
Yeah.
How fast into the conversation did he say who got
He
it?
was smooth about it because Joe Biden, I think, asked me about fishing.
Fishing.
Yeah. And then President Obama Obama's like, let's be honest, I don't give a shit what side of the fucking aisle you're on. One of the coolest motherfuckers on the planet.
Right.
And
All right. He is. He's got
and he's just
swag.
playing it off. Blah, blah, blah. Michelle this. Who got him? Here it is.
He's got some swag.
Oh,
No,
total
no.
swag. Mic drop. Obama out.
Oh,
Love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see him at the correspondence dinner?
How
the
about
night
that fucking
before?
story?
When
That
he's there
is
and
fucking
He was getting roasted by Seth Meyers.
Yeah, and Myers was great.
And we had 2 nights to get him, either Saturday or Sunday, because we wanted 100% illumination, or 0 illumination from the moon. One day was Saturday, one day was Sunday. And we said we couldn't go on Saturday because, we told him the weather was bad. And he said, look, it's 2011. I know the weather.
This
And we said,
this is
"It's
Obama.
And then we go, okay, look, the correspondence dinner is Saturday. And if you guys get up and leave, every goddamn correspondent is there, they're going to notice. So we're going to go Sunday. So President Obama is getting roasted by Seth Meyers on Saturday, 20 hours before we kill Osama bin Laden. And he said, you guys can't even find Osama bin Laden. I don't know if you know this. He hosts a show on C-SPAN every night at 5 p.m. No one watches. And Obama sat there. I would have been like, motherfucker, we're getting him tomorrow. And he just, poker face, cool as shit.
Yeah.
Didn't say, I don't know how he held it back. That's an Obama moment, dude. That was so dope.
Absolutely unreal. And at the time, of course, he knows what's going on.
We're going tomorrow. He gave us the green light yesterday.
When they because I think I might have saw of course a couple like movies and everything had come out. Is it like can you watch the movies or it just doesn't do it?
Yes,
justice?
I do. Zero Dark 30, I will watch it. if
Great
it's on.
movie.
Great movie. Good movie.
And did they hit?
No.
They didn't hit everything.
The helicopters came in the wrong way. Maya was hot, but not. She was hotter than that. I don't know. Look, nothing but love for Jessica Chastain. If she walks in right now, I will.
She's pissed
I will
right
kiss
now.
her on the lips. I promise. They got most of it right. They missed the ending, but no one really knows the ending
Unbelievable.
until my movie comes out.
Sure. I hope to write it, produce it,
We'll
act
see.
in it, do
We'll see.
whatever you got to do to it. That's just and even,
It all depends on what Brad Pitt's doing to play me. So
you sure they'll get Pitt?
And we're
hope so.
getting Nick Nolte to lose a little bit of weight to play me.
I'm saying Gary Busey for you.
Yeah, you got to get some part in it, whatever
no.
whatever way, shape.
You're going to
or
grow a
form.
beard out. You're playing Taliban. You're a shadow commander. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and I mean, even like not a lot of people like, and again, even in all your interviews, not a lot of people know that you were part with the Captain Phillips.
Yeah, that was a crazy story.
Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah, we were called out on my birthday, like I said, April 10, 2009,
Yeah.
Good Friday, and my
Again,
guys.
happy birthday.
Thank you. My guys shot him on Easter, and it's one of those cool memes that said, "What did it say about Navy SEAL snipers? We will shoot you at night on fucking Easter," which they did, and they were just badass.
Or Robert O'Neill's birthday.
Well, you got to figure what was cool about those guys too is they weren't supposed to take those shots, and we hadn't done that in over 25 years. And 3 days before those shots, those 3 Navy SEAL snipers were in their own beds in Virginia. And their guns did not need to be sighted in for the most difficult shots of their lives, but their guns were sighted in for the most difficult shots of their lives simply because they don't take shortcuts. They're prepared.
How stupid.
Long weekend.
Like-
I can do it. No, I can do it on Tuesday. Fuck it. They were ready.
that's
We
a
jumped
3-day
on
weekend.
Friday. They shot them on Sunday.
I hope they took Monday off.
No, we couldn't get back. We rehearsed for so long. How do we get overseas? How do we? No one ever thought, how the fuck did we get all the guys back? It took us 3 weeks to get back.
But when you say rehearsed, how long was it going on for? Like how long? Did
Well,
you
we were designed to rescue American hostages at sea,
that type
but
of
we'd never
operation?
done it ever. And we thought of everything.
Would you say that where the pirates went south, if the pirates could do it again, was them? I remember in the movie.
If the pirates could do it again, they would jump off the ship and swim to shore. Because when the guys with the beards came in, fucking game over.
it was a wrap.
Yeah, we didn't come in here to negotiate anymore. We left Virginia Beach and we didn't get dressed up for nothing.
So eventually, it was enough's enough.
Yeah, we're there to kill you. You had your fucking chance with the FBI. Now we're gonna shoot you in the face.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now what? So now, I mean, now that it's all over, going back to, I think it's fair to say normalcy. What's your day to day now? What do I mean? I think
Well,
you
I
spend a lot
get
of
to
time-
I do public speaking. I talk a lot, corporate events, different companies, consulting. I get to talk to America basically, and it's nice because, like, when you see the polls on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, I don't buy it because I get to talk to America and I can tell you the pulse of the country. And the refreshing thing is most people, even liberals, even conservatives, are nice. Most people are happy. Most people get along. Most people are not racist. It's comforting.
And I can tell you enjoy doing it, huh?
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's nice. I know the Obamas, I know the Trumps, I know the Bushes, and it's refreshing to not to be the big cloud of zero carbon offset bullshit, but
true.
People are happy, people are friendly, people want to do good for the environment, they want to do good for each other, and they're
And
nice.
was the initial? I mean, like immediately after. How long did it take you to really get accustomed to going to Ralph's to get groceries, shit like that?
You know what? It took me a while to stop driving so fast.
Okay.
I want to be
You felt-
aggressive, and my daughter would tell me, "Dad, slow down. Daddy, slow down." Like,
Really?
all right. And then I'm like, "You shut the fuck up." What? I'm kidding. No, and then we're just looking for adventure. So now we travel. My dad and I, we shark diving, we jump in the water with sharks.
From one thing to another.
Just
What's next?
Yeah, what's next? And like shit, even sharks are friendly.
Surprisingly.
Isn't
well,
it great?
Tom,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you hold me to
Well,
it.
what's the nicest damn shark? Tiger sharks, nicest damn shark.
Yes.
Other than a white, you just haven't seen a white yet.
And the hammerheads?
The great hammerheads are really nice.
Any close encounters with the shark as far as you get them
Yeah,
angry
you were right
at
on
all?
top. Just don't jump on them.
Yeah, just behave.
And bull sharks don't. Great whites are polite. Bull sharks hold a fucking grudge.
But you're doing this in the night. You can't even see them.
Sure you can. Or don't.
Unbelievable. Well, it really is. Well, guys, I could not be more appreciative of you guys hopping on. You say to a guest, it's an honor to have them on, which it is.
Well, this worked out
like-
well having Pops here. Isn't that great?
I mean, this is unbelievable.
He's a good interview. Don't
I'm
let him fool you.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I gotta tell you,
He doesn't
Tom,
even know where he is right now.
Tom came in cool, calm, and collected. He just
Yeah,
hopped
yeah.
on the mic. It was like Barack.
He's a
that
natural.
night.
He's a
I mean,
natural.
it really is. It's
Thank you.
unbelievable.
You know, one thing I want to interject before we end.
Anything, yeah.
You know, you talk about how we train people up to do the nasty shit that we don't have to do because they do it, and we get them trained up, and they're the best of the best. How do we untrain? How do we get them
That's
back?
good. That's good. Yeah.
In what regard?
Psychologically, emotionally,
I gotcha.
spiritually, whatever. You know, we don't take care of them. So
Yeah, the emotions are there for sure. We saw
Oh,
the other night. Yeah.
yeah. Rob has a 501c3, a charitable foundation, Your Grateful Nation, that assists others as they transition.
Yeah.
back.
What do you do? What now? Yeah.
Now, what do they do? I've talked to guys that have gone through his program that would rather go back to combat than interview.
Because war makes sense.
This stuff we
I don't
can
know
do.
how to fill out a resume or wear shoes,
Yeah.
but I know how to fight.
And I can't sit looking out a window with what little meaning there is in the life that I'm now in. So we do have work to do here.
That's
Yeah, we got
amazing.
the next ridgeline, like we always said.
Yeah.
Great white sharks and transitioning veterans.
Yeah.
Or transitioning great white sharks. Fuck it, I don't know.
Either or, whichever way you want to do it, by all means.
Yeah.
I mean, and so is it? It's not really a like. Would you consider? Is it a disorder, or it's just something that it was so severe what they were going through that?
No,
they
it's not
come
a
back?
disorder at all. It's just turning the page.
Yeah.
Because we can get on with it. It's like I said, there's no way in hell this happened. I just know the
You
story.
know the story. But we're still losing 22 a day.
Yeah, people are killing themselves over some of this shit. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can just only imagine. I mean, I'm sitting here with your.
Well, I mean, when people ask me, they're like, "What do you do with if you're having a bad day? Call a friend. What do I do if I'm in a good day? Call a friend.
Yeah.
Keep calling, at any time.
Yeah.
Jump in with sharks. That'll make you fucking believe
That'll
it.
give you
Yeah,
religion.
that'll give you a case of the ass.
Last question I have for you that I wanted to ask: if you in your prime, let's say we get into a UFC cage, how fast do you put me to sleep?
You asleep? Oh shit!
In your prime, under over
In my prime?
12 seconds.
Well, it depends on how long I want to keep you standing.
So if you wanted to put me out,
Well, you got to take you down, double leg easy, yeah. But
okay.
But
so
how
now
long?
I'm thinking under over 7
But
seconds.
see, the thing is, I don't know what you know. And what's our saying we do now? Treat
Not a whole lot.
everyone like they're going to write you a check.
Yep.
So I'm not going to pretend to kick your ass. I don't know what you know.
Yeah.
You could be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm not fucking with you. I don't
Far
know.
from, I'm not fucking with you. But guys, for real, thank you so much. I mean,
A lot of fun.
such an
Very
honor.
cool.
You
Thanks for
guys are
having us.
great, Tom. I'm so
Father,
happy
thanks
you
for coming
came
down
on.
for this. It's great.
You're great.
Thank
You're a
you.
natural, Tom. It
thank
really
you.
is. The next guest has a tough fucking
Oh,
act
that's what I'm
to
saying.
follow. But
Well,
thank
and
you.
his assistant guest needs to tuck that tag in on the
Oh, I do.
toupee.
Yeah. I usually get it behind the ear.
Yeah.
Get your hair and makeup guy for you. But thank you guys
Lot of
again.
fun.
Robert
Lot of fun.
O'Neill, Tom O'Neill. Awesome time.
Very cool.